One other thing we wanted to ask, obviously, is the fact they're playing the Cubs on opening day.
Yeah.
I know for you, I don't know how much it matters.
I'm dead inside.
Yeah. What about you, G? Do you have hatred for the Cubs still? Is that subsided?
No. It's hard. It's very difficult for me to hate people in the other league because I just, even though they play interleague a lot more, it's just I don't see them as
because of the World Series.
Yeah, nah. Like it's hard to have a rivalry in baseball where you hate them. Like a lot of people don't like the Yankees because they're the Yankees. Some people don't like the Dodgers because they're just the Dodgers and they're good. But it's hard for me to be like, oh, I hate the Cubs. Like, I mean, we lost to them. Like, I would have liked to win that game, but it was a hard-fought series, and I ain't got no animosity towards them.
The Cubs were as pitiful as the Indians were until that World Series. So I don't know why you would have hatred. Now,
people do. Listen. I'm in a weird position on it, and I understand. But I have some friends that hate the Cubs.
Really?
Hate them. Yeah, because of the World Series.
It's funny because there's people who hated the Warriors, but that's a little bit
That's
different.
what I was going to say. That's different. Right. That was a whole played them every year.
If you played the Cubs 4 years in a row and lost 3 of them, people hate the Cubs.
Yeah.
Or you had somebody with an annoying mouthpiece, and that was like, or somebody who or you felt like. Now here, I will say this: I didn't like the Braves for a long time.
Right.
I hated the Braves because I felt like they just let them get away with everything in terms of the strike zone.
Imagine we had ABS for that.
Oh, my gosh, bro. This is 4 feet outside. And this is
Eric Gregg, right? Wasn't that Eric Gregg?
Come on.
I don't remember who
the umpire.
I remember, and I was in my teens at that point in time.
Yeah.
But we watching it. Me and my dad was flipping. My dad, he's a big baseball fan. He was flipping out every pitch. I've never seen him that bad.
When I sat down with Albert Bell a couple of years ago, he was still complaining about it. He said they were giving him a ball, 2 balls off the plate. It was insane how wide the strike zone was. But it's funny you mention that because I mean that was back when I was more of a fan than I am now, and I had probably more animosity toward the Braves than I ever would the Cubs. And it was one time.
It was once. I hated them from that.
What about the Marlins?
Nah.
That one's. I don't hate them. That was just painful.
Yeah, it was
just pain.
It was because that was the chance. Before the Cubs get that series wasn't Craig Counsell and them dudes. It wasn't supposed to go down like that. It's the Marlins, bro. It's like the equivalent of the Browns getting to the Super Bowl and they lose to the Arizona Cardinals. You're like, bro, come on. If we lose to the Giants or the Eagles, bro, I'm cool with that. Yeah. Or the Cowboys. We lost to the Cardinals?
Yeah, right.
Come on. Not the Cardinals.
I kind of understand it. It was weird. That was, the Marlins.
They bought a bunch of free agents.
Yeah.
And then they tore the team down.
And then it was garbage. And then they did it again 10 years later and still, I'm like,
that's when they came back against the Cubs to win the NLCS.
Yep.
In terms of the buzz this weekend, Curtis Danberg said yesterday, usually Game 2 at home, you go from a full house on opening day to nobody at Game 2.
Yeah, believe me, I looked at the prices and what I had to pay today. I probably paid more for upper deck for these guys than you paid for
my second
behind
row
the dugout.
Seats. Yeah.
Oh, they getting cashed you out.
Yeah. I bought tickets for tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, hopefully the game will get in because it's supposed to rain tomorrow night and they're playing at 7:15. They're playing a later game because it's on Fox.
Oh,
that's why. Because first Saturday, you'd think you'd have it on an afternoon, but
plus it's a little warmer.
Exactly, it's supposed to be warm earlier, and then the temperature drops tomorrow night. Yeah. But anyway, I think there is the fact that the team got off to such a good start, and that plays a role, especially for the casual fan. It's easy for us, Jason, as diehard baseball guys, to be like, don't be ridiculous about Kyle Manzardo.
Right.
It's 1 week. But for the casual baseball fan, these little things matter.
Yeah.
Of course.
A win today plays a role in people that may or may not go to games the next 2 days. As crazy as that sounds, I'm not saying it's thousands of people, but it plays a little role. And the fact that they got off to a 4-3 start on as tough a road trip as you can possibly have to start the season was impressive. And so you go into today And you got the excitement of opening day, and there is something with the Cubs because there are some fans that hate them, and the Cubs will bring some fans, obviously. And so I think there will be good buzz this weekend for that series. Now, next week when they play the Royals at home, I don't know what that's going to be like. The weather will be a factor, although a lot of kids are off from school next week, so maybe that will be a benefit.
It's kind of like the Guardians are short-term like investments, like, some things you put some money into real quick, and if you take an L on it, you good. The other season tickets for the other like Browns is like, oh, that's a long-term investment. You just
those are called junk bonds.
Right. They're junk bonds, but you done already sunk a bunch of money into it. You ain't getting it back, so you might as well just let it ride. Like you're not getting nothing for it, right?
No.
So with the Guardians, they actually, when they play well, like the fluctuation of how people feel about them goes dramatic. Like they can sell tickets off of just if they win today and have a couple games where they beat the guys like the Cubs. There's people that's going to pull up just because they're hot.
Yeah,
right now.
if the Guardians win this series, let's say going into the Royal Series, they're 6-4. Now you've won 3 straight series against 3 very good teams. Yeah. That buzz continues, and then the schedule. Kansas City's okay, Atlanta's okay, St. Louis off to a decent start, but they're going to be terrible, and Baltimore's okay. So the schedule lightens. There's not as many good pitchers that you're facing in that stretch. Yeah. So, but what's interesting is today the Guardians, it's Cade Horton and Joey Cantillo. Cade Horton's a righty. So today's the 8th, or the Guardians played, today's their 8th game. It'll be the 8th straight game they're facing a righty to start the game. But after today, they face lefties in 3 of their next 4 starts. So that's going to be interesting in terms of the lineup because Shota Imanaga pitches for the Cubs. Tomorrow he's a lefty. Cubs have a righty in the finale, but the first 2 games were against the Royals. You have a youngster named Noah Cameron and then Cole Reagans, who are both lefties. So, is Manzardo on the bench against the lefty? Because you got to play Hoskins against the lefties.
The way he's swinging right now, he probably is, unless he figures it out.
He might be. Now, it also depends on Chase DeLauder. Is he able to play the outfield? Is he able to play? I don't think we've seen the lineup is probably not out just yet. No. Mike, if we get the lineup,
as soon as we
get
the lineup, I will cut in and let you guys know.
Yeah, let me know because I'm curious.
The Guardians, but nothing yet.
You know what's crazy?
I would assume DeLauder's going to be in the lineup. My guess is he DHs today and Hoskins is on the bench, but we'll see.
I had a flashback, man, and this is crazy. Jace, you probably talk about it. Like, I had a flashback to when I had a regular job and then I was reading a newspaper in the lounge, in a break room, and they just did what Bull did. They gave up the pitching matchups for the week and who was going to go against who, and I'm like, wow, that used to actually be in the paper. And you had to watch and read the paper to understand who was what the matchups were for the series.
I mean, I'd read the paper every morning over a bowl of cereal and just scan the box scores.
Yeah, right.
And it'd give you the odds. It'd give you this, the box scores. Yeah. Unless the game was too late, then it didn't make the box score.
Right.
They had to wait for the next day.
They don't even know.
I'm old enough. I was putting the paper together. I was in the office waiting for those West Coast games.
That's crazy.
To add the box scores.
When I was a kid, because I rooted for a team not in New York, there was the only way I could get the Cubs score, especially a day game, because at night I could sometimes hear the game on radio. But the only way I could get the Cubs score during the day was we had our news station, 1010 Wins, at 15 and 45, they would give all the scores, right? Besides that, I had to call something called Sports Phone. You guys know this?
No.
I think it was like
Sports Phone.
Sports Phone. You dial, I don't even remember the number. I think it was like 976-1313.
Oh, you're paying $1.99 a minute.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't quite that much, but it was like 25 cents a call, and it would update every 10 minutes, and they'd have the scores. And I remember one of the guys who did it was this guy, David Schuster, who's a longtime Chicago.
Yeah.
And it was they'd give all the scores. Now, it wasn't just a Cubs thing. The guy happened to be from Chicago.
Yeah.
But, that's how I would have to get a score.
411.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I remember the After Dark commercials, the 900 numbers.
Oh, man.
For the first minute.
Lonely.
99 cents.
Those were a lot more expensive than Sports Phone.